Gone ahead and started creating a logo in Adobe Illustrator that we're going to use to map to the side of our car. This would be kind of what they call a decal. Probably you're thinking, why are you using Illustrator instead of Photoshop? Well, there's some very good reasons. Illustrator gives me complete control of the image without losing any quality. If I go over into Photoshop, which I'll do that here in a second, and we'll look at Photoshop, here's some famous logos. If you zoom up on an image in Photoshop, you can see these things called pixels, these boxes here, also known as aliasing. Photoshop has this problem. That's part of working with raster images. As you zoom in, you continue to lose quality of your image. As you zoom out, it looks a little bit better, but it doesn't give you the kind of control you want for a fine rendering. So let's go back over here to Illustrator. If I go into Illustrator and I zoom way up on an image, I do not lose any quality. And right now I'm zoomed in at 5,000% on this image. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and I can zoom up in a different area, and again my quality stays the same, which means I can scale my images up and down. I don't lose any color quality, as you saw in the previous one. So Illustrator is the better choice for us in building our CO2 logos. Gone ahead and started modifying this logo. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to do a few things to it to kind of dress it up a little bit here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but for this application in this training session, it should be pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all these different gradients that I've already pre-selected and pre-made, and I'll come up and get my let's see, eyedropper tool here again, select that. Okay, so there's my gradient that I've got. I can adjust it a little bit to more of a preference that I need here. Same thing with this one here. I'll just kind of come in and do some adjustments. As you see here, I probably added a little too much on that one, but we can have some fun with it. If you mess up, just do a Control Z and you can back up to where you were, like I should have done earlier. Okay, so I've got that going. I'll select this guy here. I'm going to adjust him over, and that looks here pretty good. I'll move this guy over here like that. Okay, that looks pretty good for now. Let's come back to this in a moment. I've continued at working on my file, and I put some text in there. I want to modify that text a little bit. I select the T over there on my tool palette. For the text command, I'll write the right stuff. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to no longer make this text. I'm going to come up here to my type command, come down here and create outlines. Now that it's outlines, I can do some stuff with it. One of the things I want to do with it is to go ahead and basically do kind of a shear effect to it, where I can take and move the thing to the right a little bit, give it that kind of a slanted look, which I do like a lot better. Now I'm going to zoom this up, scale this up a little bit, and move it over a little bit too, so it gets kind of more the effect I'm looking for. I really like that. It looks like the right stuff. So I'm going to change the color of this text by selecting the fill command here, and get my eyedropper and just go select the blue right here. So I'm going to turn off my outline color there, so I don't have that. And there's my logo. It looks pretty good. Maybe a little more slant to it, and we'll just use the free transform tool here, and we can just kind of shear that, maybe move it over, go back to the shear command, and actually shear it just a tad more. So it gives us that effect we're looking for. That looks great. Let's see if we can get that on the side of our car. I've gone ahead and collapsed my tool palettes over here on the right hand side. Now I need to do what's called a Save for Web and Devices. So I'm going to come up here to File, and I'm going to say Save for Web and Devices. Now what this is going to do is it's going to take the raster file that I've created earlier and turn it, this vector file, and turn it into a raster file. One thing I want to make sure for working with SolidWorks is that I'm working in a PNG file, 24-bit. PNG stands for Portable Network Graphics, and then I have transparency set, which is what I'm going to need for my design when I put it into into SolidWorks. So we're going to then save this file here, and we're going to call this one Right Stuff. I just key in RIGHT STUFF, and I put it where I can find it. So I'll just put it out here on my desktop. Okay, save the file, and there it is. Okay, now we're going to go back to SolidWorks, and we're going to add this logo to the car. Now we're going to go ahead and map the logo we created in Illustrator to the side of our car. So what I'm going to do at this time is go up here to PhotoWorks and go down here to Decal, and I'm going to search for and browse for the decal that I created earlier in Illustrator. And it's in my Dragster projects folder, and there you see the logo, The Right Stuff. I'll select it, and it comes up and gives a preview, and it shows it with a black background. Well, we use a selective color mask because that black background is actually transparent, and we'll get rid of it as you see here. So that looks good for there. Let's go ahead and stop and come back to this in a moment. Now we're ready to map our logo to the side of the car. We've gone ahead and removed the black background color using the selective color mask. That's important so that we can get a transparency onto the side of the car and not have any black information like we saw previously. We're going to come up now and select mapping. What's important is to make sure that you've gone ahead and applied changes to part at document level, which is this part here. And we've gone ahead and selected faces. Now what I'm going to do is select this one contour fillet that I had done previously, as you see here lighted up in orange. I'll click on it. It's going to change it back to wood. Now we need to select one more face here, and that's this face right here. Now at this time we can scroll down here at the bottom and we can go ahead and change our angle to say 30 degrees at this point. Hit the tab key to adjust it. Now using these scroll bars here, I can scroll up my image as you see here, and I can make it taller or shorter. I want to try to stay within the sides of the two fillets that I've done. What I'm going to do now is just grab this logo and just move it down to about right there, and I'll go ahead and accept that.